Hello everyone, this is your friend Heman Gangwar, and today we're going to learn exactly how we can use Ansible to perform an operating system patching on our systems, Linux systems basically. So let's get started. If you're new to Ansible, I would suggest see our previous videos or read our previous blogs. So this is my Ansible control node, and there are few of my Ansible managed nodes, or you can see Ansible clients. Now, obviously, there will be a common user authentication, key-based authentication between the users on the control and the managed nodes, and also they're in the same network or in the network which has a proper reachability. Then one more thing, all those nodes should be accessible through SSH. So as we know, Ansible works on port 22 only, so SSH should be allowed. So once all these prerequisites are there, we have two methods that we can achieve our current requirement. One can be through any shell command, yum-based shell commands, and secondly through yum module provided by Ansible. So let's first go to the yum module and then see exactly how it helps us to solve our purpose. So this is my Ansible control node. So let's first validate, let's first see exactly how yum module works and what offerings it provides basically. So it gives you a lot of options, like you can disable any certain repo if you don't require that while running your yum command, or you can only download the packages rather than installing them, or enabling all the repos or any required repo of your choice. Then you can also exclude certain packages if they are not required, for example Java or any running application you want to say. Then the name of the package which you want to install or update through yum, and the state exactly how they should be looked like, they should be present, absent, or the latest version. Then there's an option of update only, so that it won't install the new package, it only perform an update. That will happen when the state chosen is latest. If you remove this -s flag, then it will give you a more detailed output, and at the end you'll get a lot of examples how you can use that module. So this is a simple going examples in front of you. Now let's create a simple playbook that can help us to complete our tasks which we are going to perform for it. So in order to write a playbook, you should be if you have a bit knowledge of YAML, that we find the first three indentations are YAML syntax. So let's provide a name to our playbook. So with -name option, we can give this playbook a complete name. So this playbook is intended to basically perform a patching. So let's put the description like that. Then the next portion will be hosts. On the hosts, on all managed hosts where I want to act. As I'm looking all, that means then a become that will make sure for privileges I'll use. Not using root, but if you're a normal user, then this will make difference. Then the actual tasks which we are going to perform. So the number first task is, it's just a name of the task. Like again, the name option, it's optional, but you can give a better description to your playbooks. So it's going to use my update my OS packages. I'll use the yum module, then the name exactly. So I want to update all the packages. The star means all, or you can optionally give the name or list of packages. In the state, I want the latest state. Then my exclusion list. So these nodes have a Docker running. So I just want the Docker to be excluded, to be patched or to be updated. And then an update only option, which I'll put. Just let me see exactly if that was the correct. Yeah, update only. Yes. So okay, my mouse is playing. So that was update only, and the options can be when its latest gets correct. So we can provide update only as true. So that won't install any new packages other than kernel. So once you've written the task for this yum command, then we can also write a task so that it will inform us when our patching is completed on our nodes. So I'll use a simple debug module that will be used to print a message on my system. So I'll write a custom message for it. The attribute used here will be message. Let's put a single message. Then the curly braces inventory hostname, that is a system fact, is going to replace this variable with your system hostname on which it's going to run. We can see when we're going to execute it. And this basic work is done. So let's first validate whether my playbook syntax is fine or not. So just Ansible -playbook, your playbook name, then the inventory over which you want to run, and then syntax -check. So now my syntax is fine. If no error is there, then my syntax is fine. So now let's perform a dry run as well to see exactly what's intended to do and is it doing that thing or not. Note, it won't make any changes at this state. It's only forming a dry run. It should be quick. It should not take that much time. Okay, providing the result. So it's giving change. That means yes, it's going to make any changes on the system. Yes, once it's done, it will display a message in front of you that your patching is completed. So now we have seen the dry run. So let's perform an actual run. Just remove -c and perform an actual run. So this is a play. First, it'll gather the facts, then it will update your OS packages. That may take some time depending on your network bandwidth and how many packages you have selected for update. So it's running. Once it's completed on all the nodes, we will be watching a message displayed on our screen that these many nodes are completed. Do Ansible traverse task by task, so it won't go to the next task unless this task is completed fully. So bear with me for a few more seconds or minutes. Let this third task complete. Let the task complete on the third node as well. Okay, it's done. So now we can reboot our nodes. Before that, let's just perform a ad hoc command and let's see exactly how my kernel looks like. If my yum list is showing my latest kernel is installed as well. So just yum list kernel. -b is optional as I'm using a root user, but if you're using a normal user, that's required. So you can see my old kernel is also there, my latest kernel is also installed on my system. So there are no other available kernels to be installed. Okay, so as we have done our yum module method, now there's another way by which we can do it is through shell commands. So we can simply write any yum command like yum update -y and the relevant parameters. If you want to exclude anything or disable any repo, enable any repo, that's all. So return back to our POT session. So let's modify that same playbook again and incorporate our yum commands. Rather than doing all that, let's comment that a bit over here only. Let me write a new line. Why would I write a new line? Let's use this original code only. I'll take the name from here and no, the yum is not required. So I won't require any other lines, just a shell command. So just replace this yum with a shell module over here and type our original command. Don't get confused. Those are the virtual machines, so I resetted them. So they are again on the old OS. So now we can perform the same activity. And I'm excluding my Docker base packages so that it won't be installed. I simply added a command over here. Then there's also a function that you can see all the results through a register module. Just register and provide a value to it. And then we have to write another task where we can see the output of that variable. Like this will show exactly what all output this command has generated. So let's provide a heading to it. Now use the debug module and then with a var with it. This time we are not providing a message, we are using a var. The indentation is important. The var should be inside the debug, ahead of the debug. So take this variable and perform a standard output if you don't want to see everything. Else it will display a lot of output for you. So it's done. Let's run this command. Okay, syntax wise look good because not getting any errors. So it's again going to perform the OS package update. It's giving a warning that we should use yum to update the package or to install the package rather than running a simple yum as a command. This is a warning, so we can put it inside our configuration settings block. So next time it won't come. But it simply means that it's a harmless message. It simply means that you should use a yum module rather than running yum as a single command. Okay, one of my node is patched. Others will be in progress as well. It runs the parallel commands, so it won't take a long. Okay, looks like the third node is taking some more time. Okay, it's done, and it displayed the complete output at the end as well. And unfortunately, my putty size is low, so you won't be able to see the exact playbook, but the recap is there that all tasks performed fine. Okay, so this part is done, but we may need to reboot the machine. So we should cover that part as well. Before that, first verify whether a new kernel is available or not. So it's available to us. And also my Docker should not be updated. So yes, you can see two entries, one of installed and one of available. So Docker latest package is still there and it's not updated. Now update our playbook again and let's incorporate one reboot condition as well. Write a new task for it. So just provide a heading to the task. Use a simple name and provide a heading for it. Let me add some options with the shell command. So let's use our shell module. So let this node first wait for 10 seconds and then reboot. Sleep command will simply wait the prompt for 10 seconds. Then I'll add some async and some polling options. Poll 0 here means that Ansible won't poll this task for the results. As you are aware that Ansible perform a handshake, so it waits for the task to complete and provides its status to control node. These are some options. You can Google it, or if you can't, just let me know. I'll provide you the meaning of those. Okay, I have made a small mistake. where it is saying name rebooting my node. Actually, the error is not on that. The error is because no, the shell should be fine. Maybe these options are in the same sync. That's why we are getting these errors. If we got another error, I'll remove those entries. Okay, it's still showing error on async thing. I used it pretty old, so let's remove it if required. And then see. Okay, let's see if we got the same error again. No, it worked fine. Since there's nothing to update, so in the last stanza, or in the last play, it didn't show you anything to update. You will see a simple message, no mechanism mark for update. But the reboot happened, and unfortunately, you see unreachable task. It had 6 provided status to the Ansible that it's I'm rebooting, but 7 won't. It just drops like that, and Ansible keep on thinking exactly what happened to my node. Though it's rebooted, but Ansible won't be able to show the correct status of those. So we would like to solve that as well. As of now, the nodes are back, so we can update our playbook again and add some extra entries. Let me add async again and see if I got the same errors. And then I'll write a task simply to validate whether my nodes are back or not. This task I'll like to perform on my control node only rather than on the hosts. So I'll add an extra entry for it. So there is simply a wait for module is there provided by Ansible that makes sure that Ansible will wait for a particular task to happen or event to happen. Make sure the indentation is okay, and then let's provide exactly the host against which we want to validate. So I'll use the common variable so that it will traverse across all. Simply inventory host name. It will wait for the host name which we have provided. Then the state. I'll wait until the node is started and provide a handover to Ansible. Then there are some other options to it. For example, delay after how much time I want this check to be started. So I want it started after a minute. Then a timeout, how much time it will wait actually. So it will wait for next 10 minutes to complete, and which port it will listen to. So it will listen to port 22. Then I'll add a delegate option as well. Else it won't run on my local node. So I'll delegate the task so that you won't run on the manage nodes, just run on my local host. Let's see if we have made any errors. Okay, this async still have issues. So let's try to fix that as well. These should have a priority same as shell, I believe. I'm making a mistake. Okay, let's first remove and then see what happened. The error is still there. So I'm getting what errors we are making, but still let's do some extra test. Let's first comment it and then see how it goes. Okay, the playbook ran fine, but I believe this will again crash and last task won't run. Yes, because that task is not able to handle. Because of that, the later task didn't run. So just uncomment this entry and probably we need to fix those. Let me see. Okay, they should have. Okay, let's provide first. First, let's ignore the errors and see if it's actually ignoring the task or not. If it's failing due to some syntax error or it's failing due to some other errors. Let's see. So this particular entry ignore the errors if any, and should proceed to the next task. Unfortunately, it again failed and that entry didn't work. So my last entry is still not working. And I made a promise that we will fix that. So I've updated the options again with the async and the poll. Hopefully it should run fine. You can pause the video to see if that worked or not, or the updated code. So it will wait for 60 seconds. So we don't have to wait for that. I'll pause the video and we can see that. So it rebooted my host, and you can see it was not unreachable this time. It has changed basically. And my last disk is just waiting. Okay, the notes are back for it. So this is all I have.